Hi everyone, it's kilzhot from 99 Sports, and this is the college football top 25 pick'em. I see, look, I didn't even say anything before Ann Hodge jumped in and said, "Go Hokies." You know what? I'm with you today. We're going to get to that in 1 minute. We're going to let a few more people pop in. If you guys are new to the channel, this is where we just basically go through the top 25 games, and I'm going to do a pick'em. I'll do some parlays. I'll get some ideas out there who we think is going to win. I'm feeling it a little bit for Virginia Tech today, though, but today is actually a very good day for college football. They're a good matchup. Sometimes you get toward middle of the season or almost toward the end, and it's just 1 or 2 games. There's a lot of stuff, and, of course, the college football rankings came out. A little bit of a surprise, I guess, to some people. Georgia being number 1. We're going to talk about the impact that may have on Alabama a little bit later on today. So appreciate all of you guys spending a little bit of your Saturday morning here. If you guys are new, as we said before, 99 Sports. I do have an announcement to make for the sports channel. I'm pretty excited about this because I think it's going to merge a few things together. But as you guys know, basically started with 99 Gaming, a lot of different things that are out there from spoiler videos, Walking Dead, sports, comics, and video games. So one of the things that I'm going to add to the 999 Sports channel is I'm going to have a gaming section that is going to have some video gameplay, whether it's a little bit of Madden, a little bit of basketball, some college football games, some of that stuff as well. So when you guys tune in, you'll still get the live streams, chance for us to all hang out, but also we're going to do a little bit of WWE. I don't know if I'll get into a golf game. That would actually be like me doing a live stream and talking about golf. I don't know that I can do it, but you will get to see a little bit more. We'll do some pack openings for basketball games and all of those things. So I want to kind of mix it up a little bit because my subscribers are very well-rounded. I mean, you guys get involved in a little bit of everything, and a lot of our subscribers are sports fans and Walking Dead fans and gaming fans, so it's a good chance to merge everything. Hey, Kel, I see you here. Also, Brene in the house. Oh, really? Well, you know what? You play a golf game. I don't know if people would want to watch me play a golf game. Maybe the frustration of me watching a golf game. So who else we got here? I see a few more people popping in. If you guys are watching, then type something in chat. Don't just don't be a wallflower here. Get involved in a little bit because we're going to go through these games, and I'm going to pick them, and this is going to be with the points included. So let's start to roll through this so you guys can get on to your Saturday afternoon. UMass versus Mississippi State. I guess the first question would be, sorry UMass, but who cares? And those of you from Massachusetts, I'm sorry. I want to apologize in advance. No disrespect, but they are 2-6. They're going into Mississippi State, and they're a 33.5-point underdog. You know what? I like Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State not only to win, but also to win in a dominating fashion. If they put 50 up, I don't think that UMass is going to put enough to stay with that. What's up, Michelle? Thanks for being here. So if I get to your favorite team, chime in because I want to get a little bit of your involvement with these as well. So Auburn at Texas A&M. Boy, a few weeks ago, didn't this look like this had the makings of a really, really awesome game toward the end of the season? And now we got Auburn at 6-2. We got Texas A&M 5-3. Auburn number 14, 15.5 points on the road. I don't like Auburn to cover, to be honest with you, but I don't like Auburn to necessarily lose. This is going to be closer than people think, and I could see Texas A&M getting out with a victory, even though Auburn is SEC. Sometimes the SEC, as good as they are, they're a little bit overrated in my mind from a point spread perspective. So I'm gonna take Auburn to barely win this one, and by barely, I'm gonna say 31-30. A little bit of a shootout, higher than the experts think. Auburn barely wins, but has not even come close to covering the spread. So let's move on to the next one and see what you guys got on this one. We got Wisconsin at Indiana. Indiana has played tough at home, but they're 3-5. Wisconsin 8-0. I like Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin to play a typical run it down your throat football game, and I'm thinking Wisconsin puts up 31. Indiana puts up 7. Wisconsin is number 9. I think that's a little disrespectful, to be honest with you. They're 8-0. The Big Ten might be down a little bit, comparatively speaking, to a couple other conferences. But I still, you probably got SEC, ACC, Big Ten, and ACC maybe pretty close. I like Wisconsin to blow them out. and I like Wisconsin to make a statement. This is a statement game for them. They can't lose focus that they can still get in the top 4. I know they're on the outside looking in. Another game that could have been so much more is Penn State versus Michigan State. Michigan State 6-2 has looked sloppy at times. Penn State on the road 7-1. Penn State needs a big bounce back game. I think they get it, but I still think that this is going to be a pretty close game. I don't know they're going to cover the 10. I like Penn State to get the win, but I like them to get the win 24-21. But it is on the road. Still going to be a quality win for Penn State. South Carolina at Georgia. You know, what has happened to South Carolina since Spurrier left? Please. We need the old ball coach back. Spurrier, where you at? Bail South Carolina out. South Carolina is 6-2, but 6-2 versus Kentucky's and Vanderbilt's, and I don't think South Carolina is going to be in this game, to be honest with you. I think Georgia, all the hype they need, number one. Georgia's defense is going to dominate. A lot of turnovers in this game. It's hard. It's hard to pick against South Carolina, but Georgia 49, South Carolina only manages 21. Georgia creates enough turnovers with South Carolina. Georgia takes care of business and also covers the spread barely, by a little bit. Michelle says her Spartans better win. Michelle, I want your Spartans to be better. I just don't know what the deal is. They surprise me sometimes. They get on, you know, they beat a good team, and then they come in a team that they should dominate, you know, beat 16, 17 points. They struggle or either lose one that they shouldn't lose. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and they'll have a bounce back, but we'll see. Iowa State at West Virginia. West Virginia is another team. West Virginia isn't as good as Michigan State, but they're another team that I feel like they play good at times, but then when they should go out and blow a team out, they don't get the job done. Iowa State, West Virginia, 6-2, 5-3. But today they do get the win. I'm taking West Virginia. West Virginia are actually favored. They're favored by 3.5. West Virginia 38, Iowa State 31, by 7. Last week was terrible for me too, because I had Michigan State. All right, how about, am I ready to officially get on the Notre Dame bandwagon? I mean, Notre Dame has one loss, and it's to the number 1 team. It's to Georgia. I like Notre Dame. They've been playing some dominating football. Wake Forest is a very solid football team. But going to Notre Dame, 42, Wake Forest 28. Notre Dame covers the point spread. Actually, Notre Dame does not cover the point spread. I'm sorry. I need to scroll down. Notre Dame is a 15.5 point favorite. So I guess based on that, let's say leave this alone. You know, anything that close, you know, I got Notre Dame winning by 14, and it's a 15.5 point spread. So in theory, Wake Forest would cover. I don't have a lot of faith after North Carolina State struggled. I'm going to say don't touch it. But I guess if you're desperate, then I think Wake Forest will cover. Stanford and Washington State. Stanford 6-2, Washington State 7-2, 21 versus number 25. Stanford slight favorite. You know what? I can see that. I can see Stanford going into Washington State, taking care of Washington State. 28-24. Barely covers the spread. Ohio State and Iowa. So the Buckeyes against Iowa. This is a big game for, I mean, it's probably Iowa's biggest game of the year. Well, let's say, you know, Iowa State, I guess. But you get Ohio State coming in ranked number 6, 7-1. They can get back in the conversation. 20-point spread. I feel Ohio State is going to win. The 20-point spread does concern me a little bit because I think the Hawkeyes will give them a good football game. So let's go with Ohio State 31, Iowa 21. Iowa covers the spread. I feel pretty good about Iowa covering the spread. Yeah, I agree with that, Ann. Ann, you were Tommy's not here today, so you're kind of you're on point with me. Usually Tommy's picks are very close to mine. And where's Chip Smith? Where is the Clemson fan? Because this is his game. I'm picking it right now. Clemson, North Carolina State. North Carolina State, ranked number 20. Clemson given 8.5. Clemson dominates the football game. North Carolina State lost my faith against Notre Dame. I think Clemson is better than Notre Dame. I know Clemson lost that tough game at Syracuse, but their quarterback got hurt. Clemson takes care of business. 38-24. Clemson. 2-touchdown win over North Carolina State. And the next one is probably the game of the day. This is Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. It's a big, big rivalry. I'm sorry, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma coming in at 7-1, ranked number 5. Oklahoma State 7-1, ranked number 11. Oklahoma State is the favorite. And you know what? I am taking Oklahoma State to beat Oklahoma. I think Baker Mayfield is overrated. I think Oklahoma, I don't think they're ready for this. I think they're overrated at number 5. Oklahoma State should be the one that is ranked number 5 and talking about college football playoffs. So after Oklahoma State gets the win today, they will be in the conversation and Oklahoma will not be any longer. Oklahoma State wins this one 35-31. 35-31, Oklahoma State. Big win today. Texas at TCU. Texas 4-4, TCU 7-1. Why is TCU only a 6-point favorite over a bad Texas team? Texas is 4-4. TCU dominates the game. Let's get Texas out of here. Let's get Texas at 4-5 and just get them out of the conversation. TCU 42, Texas 24. TCU takes it down in a big, big way. Look, Chip pops in. It's like he knew I was talking about Clemson, and then he pops in. Central Florida 7-0. Central Florida needs to start getting in the conversation. I know people are going to say they don't play anybody, They're 7-0. They're going to SMU. They're a 15-point favorite. They have to keep winning in a big way. UCF takes care of SMU, and they dominate them. 49-24. It's at SMU. I don't care. It's at SMU. They cover the point spread. They need to be in the top 10. Put them in the top 10. They're going to be 8-0 after this week. And this game should have been so much more. I always circle this beginning of the season. LSU and Alabama, love it. Rivalries, hate each other. LSU coming in at number 19, 2 losses. I mean, yes, LSU has gotten a couple quality wins, but they lost to Troy. Alabama is feeling disrespected right now. Alabama, consensus number 1 team all season long, and then the polls come out, and Georgia is number 1. So you better believe them boys down in Alabama are going to be fired up to play. But I think that that's why the point spread is 21.5 points, because people think they're going to be fired up to play. They are not 21 points better than a rivalry team. LSU has not played good football, but if there's one game that LSU will be up for all season long, it's against Alabama. Alabama wins 23-21 in a nail-biter. And then people are going to see why Alabama is ranked number 2. Because Georgia can handle LSU. Alabama is going to be a punch-them-in-the-mouth fight to the very end. LSU goes to 6-3. Alabama does go to 9-0, but they don't cover the 21 points. I like LSU with the points here. And if Oklahoma State was not the game of the week, you have to figure Virginia Tech at Miami is the game of the week because you got number 13 Virginia Tech 7-1, number 10 Miami 7-0. Miami 2.5-point favorite. No. I'm sorry, Miami. You can't keep getting lucky at the end of every game and beating a Florida State and beating teams that you should beat more handily than you beat. Now you finally have a formidable football team. They barely beat Georgia Tech. The buck stops here. No more swag in Miami. Virginia Tech goes in, takes care of business. They're a better football team. They're a better coached football team. Virginia Tech, 24-17, a touchdown win in Miami. Take the Hokies. Silence. All right, Oregon versus Washington. Oregon, wow, you just didn't think you'd see Oregon at 5-4. Washington 17-point favorite. This is Washington's chance to really get back at Oregon for a lot of beatdowns over the years. I like Washington. I like Washington in a big way. 56-21. Huskies absolutely dominate. Kel, don't go with the U. I'm telling you, the candle's flickering out. You've seen the U the last month. Squeaking out, win after win after win, barely. 3-point win, 3-point win. That's not going to hold up against a good football team. All right, Arizona at USC. These are two disappointments to me, too. I mean, this is the last one we're doing for the day. It's a late game. 6-2 Arizona, 7-2 USC. USC 7-point favorite. All I can tell you is there'll be a lot of points scored in this game. USC loses. A heartbreaker. 56-52 in overtime. How about that? 49-49. And then Arizona, you know what? They won't kick the extra point, sorry. 55-52 in overtime. Arizona gets the win. They're 7-point favorite. So, real quick recap. I'll go over it for the guys and for people that chimed in a little bit late. Also, just a couple more things I want to announce. Once this video goes live, leave your pick of the day. Whatever your favorite pick of all the ones we discussed, leave it in the comments. Some people watching the playback, check that out as well. And pick the score, too. Don't just say, hey, you know, Virginia Tech's going to beat Miami. Let me know what you think the score is going to be, and we'll see who is going to be the closest. Also, as I mentioned before, we're going to start adding some video games, some sports video games on the 999 Sports channel. So there'll be a section on the main page that you can see some of that as well. So it could be some NFL football, some Madden, some NBA Live, any of those things. We're just going to spice it up a little bit more. So real quick rundown from the top to give you the picks. I'm going to go with Mississippi State 56-13 over UMass. Then we got Auburn and Texas A&M. I got Auburn 31-30 over Texas A&M. Wisconsin 31-7, easy win going into Indiana. Penn State 24-21, barely gets out alive with the Spartans. I could be wrong. Spartans could pull the upset, but I think it's going to be a close game. I do think Penn State will get back on track. Georgia, South Carolina. Georgia puts up big numbers on South Carolina, 49-21. Iowa State loses at West Virginia, 38-31. Then we've got Notre Dame taking care of business. I'm getting on the Notre Dame bandwagon slowly. 42-28 over Wake Forest. Stanford, Washington State. Washington State loses to Stanford, 28-24. Ohio State at Iowa. Ohio State by 10, 31-21. Clemson takes care of North Carolina State. No problem. 38-24, two-touchdown win. Oklahoma State at home versus Oklahoma. 35-31. The Bedlam series. TCU dominates Texas. No contest. 42-24. UCF 49. SMU 24. Alabama squeaks out 23-21 over LSU. Does not cover the point spread. Virginia Tech goes down to Miami. Takes care of business. They're an underdog, but they win by 7, 24-17. And also, we've got Washington and Oregon, 56-21 Washington, and Arizona, USC, probably the shootout that we all want to see, 55-52. Arizona takes care of USC in a awesome game. So that is a little bit of the 999 Top 25 College Sports Picks. We will do NFL tomorrow. We're going to do some gaming streams tomorrow. We got a lot of Walking Dead. If you guys are not subscribed to all the channels, subscribe to all the channels. And on Tuesday, Random Things, there will be some Easter eggs, possibly some Easter eggs from this particular video. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time, your insight, and your feedback, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.